Peace to the family, peace to the family. Shout out to everybody out there. Thank you for your patience once again with Brother Rich. Little late. Gotta watch my little one tonight. So yeah, I'm super busy tonight. But listen, I'm gonna have an amazing show. About to bring on my guest. Y'all seen him before, but before I do, let's get to this quick commercial. We'll be right back. It's Friday night, y'all. So get comfortable. Hit the like button, tell your friends and family, tune to Brother Rich tonight. It's gonna be a great show that everybody could benefit from. Be right back, family.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning feeling stressed. Sometimes I wake up feeling like I never slept. Sometimes I don't want to wake up cause I'm depressed. But today when I woke up I felt blessed. Yes, I'm thankful I could breathe. Thankful for the breath, thankful for the heart beating in my chest. Superman S. I fell in love with life, not afraid of death. Fell in love with life, fell in love with sex. I'm a sinner, I confess. I love my cold, melanated flesh. It absorbs, it protects like a bulletproof vest. I kill all my demons and then I ask who's next. I'm the son of Osiris, I'm coming for the suplex. God is good, God is great. I'm thankful for the food on my plate. I just ate mashed potatoes and steak. Victory is sweet, come get a taste. The flavor in your ear is Big Mac with the bass. Been broke, can't break, got money in the bank. Every day someone dies, someone's born. Get a cake, set a date, get a suit, get a tie, get a date. God is always on time, never late. Celebrate, get in shape, meditate, levitate, elevate. Men destroy, men create, real women menstruate. And the sound I make emanates my life. And the song I sing celebrates my life. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Everything was dark, God invented light. Everybody celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Accepted all my wrongs, celebrate the right. When I die, celebrate my death, see what heaven's got. I feel glorious, victorious. The metal dangle on my...
All right, and without further ado, welcome back to the platform, SupaNova Slom. Welcome back, my brother. The medicine
salute,
man.
Brother Rich. Salute, wellness warrior salute to the family out there. It's so amazing and awesome to be back here with my Black Magic 363 family. Ashe.
Hey, SupaNova, I'm trying to get the people medicine through music like you, my brother. You the medicine
Brother,
man.
listen, let me tell you something, man. I can do magic. I can do magic.
Wait, my son wants to. I tell you, my son wants to say hi. Tell you I'm watching tonight. Say hi.
Wellness salute. It's so good to see you. Exactly. Power.
Indeed. SupaNova, we gonna have a good time tonight, man.
Yes, sir.
I definitely look forward to this conversation. And it's a conversation, and I think it's so necessary. I know you do a lot of work helping the brothers out. You got the men's circle and everything. And us tapping into our sixth sense at this time in the culture and the paradigm and everything that's going on right now is absolutely necessary, SupaNova. For the sisters, absolutely necessary right now. Because they got to be able to distinguish when to listen to this doctor, when to listen to this, when to listen what's going on with their child in school. There's so many things that us as a race and the humanity in general has to be on point for right now. So I'm glad to have this conversation with you. In terms of the sixth sense, intuition, clairvoyance, what pops out in your mind? What's one of the first things that pop out in your mind, my brother?
Okay, beloved. So let's talk about. I developed some notes because I really wanted to go into before we go into the expansive build. I kind of want to give a backstory of the sixth sense, and in the scientific origin of it, and also our metaphysical origin of it, right? And then we can just go, right? Because once I go over these notes, Brother Rich caveated in the caption, universal mind control, right? So that it becomes when we identify the sixth sense and everything from one to six before that, right? And we can master these modalities, then the universal mind control will be able to be resilient through, you know, and not necessarily be caught up in its grip. So the sixth sense, Brother Rich, also known in scientific circles as proprioception. Okay, proprioception. So most of us are probably taught as humans to master the five senses, right? We talk about the taste, smell, vision, hearing, and touch. However, an underappreciated sixth sense in the scientific community is called proprioception. Okay, perception refers to your brain understanding where your body is in space, right? So the brain and the body, it's a mind-body connection, right? Mind-body connection in space, understanding how that correlates. Okay. So proprioception is the medical term that describes the ability to sense the orientation of the body in an environment. In other words, it's defined as the ability to sense exactly where your body is. It works unconsciously in our body and allows us to quickly and freely, without having to consciously think about where we are in the environment. So the test would be, let's say I close my eyes, and if I'm gonna, my brain I'm commanding my brain to signal my physical body to touch my nose, right? So I can just do that regardless, because my body and my brain are in the same time and space understanding through that command. Okay, so a simple test to do. But some people can't even connect with their senses. They close their eyes. They have not connected the mind body connection, and some people are disoriented when just for the simple exercise as that. So if you can do it, which is simple to do, you find yourself definitely in tune with your senses and the mind body connection. All right. So give me 1 second, family. Okay. So, all right. So the next part of this is, what is an example of the sixth sense? So let's go into, now that we know this, how the scientific community views it. What is it from a holistic metaphysical perspective? Okay. So some examples of sixth sense are intuition, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, psychokinesis. Um, and these are abilities that are in all of us, just not necessarily tapped and activated, right? So the question becomes, what is the sixth sense for someone? So for the individual, so to say someone has a sixth sense, it means they have the natural ability to tap into an intuition, to read the room, read themselves in relation to others, read themselves in relation to their environment. Um, Even with necessarily not knowing the coordinates of a situation or occurrence before. So, it brings us back to the affirmation of intuitiveness, trusting that yourself, right? The gut feeling. All right. How do I know I have a sixth sense? Well, part of the development of a sixth sense is learning how to pay close attention, right? Attention to detail of your surroundings and the minute details. So not only awareness of your environment, but awareness of yourself and your environment. The ability to master yourself and practice self mastery allows you to strengthen your senses outside of yourself, right? So if you find yourself very challenged from external stimuli, the more you can delve within yourself and get to know yourself, unblock yourself, or move from maybe traumatic experiences that have been with you for so long, you're able, that sensitivity, that unlocking and unblocking allows you to maneuver better in the outside environment, right? So the more attention you pay to your surroundings and to yourself, the more you become you are aware of these slight changes and variations, and the more in tune you will be for yourself and the world around you. All right. Is the sixth sense intuition, or which is one? Is it intuition, or is it not intuition, right? So sometimes this is known as, the sixth sense is known as the gut feeling, the instinct, right? For many years intuition has had a bad reputation among scientists, mainly because most of them um have not been able to fully define how it works. So this is where metaphysics comes in, right? Understanding a greater, more in-depth part of oneself, the science of self. So I feel the science of the gut and instinct is the science of self. Maybe that's perhaps why some scientists may be limited in it. But the science does teach that researchers are showing the intuition as the brain's way of problem solving and improving shortcuts in their memories and cognition of the knowledge of the environment and the knowledge of themselves. So there is some homeostasis, some balance between the science of life applied and the science of self. Okay, what is a strong sixth sense, right? The strong sixth sense is the ability to know something without the ordinary senses, such as sight, hearing, smell, touch, taste, right? So the sixth sense um is like you had a sensitivity to know something was going to happen, right? So you may have had the voice inside you say, make a right now or make a left this way or don't go out today, and then later on you check that something happened, right? Something went down, and that was your intuition, sixth sense, or some would even call ancestors or higher powers guiding you, right? The higher power within you is guiding you around the powers that be, right? How do I strengthen my sixth sense? So once we know that we have this ability, right? This intuitive ability, this gut feeling ability. How do we strengthen it? How do we cultivate it and keep it? Once we become aware, right? So practices such as yoga, meditation, tai chi, all help to hone your skills to make the process of guiding everything more accessible. The more you use your sixth sense ability, the more sensitive you become. Okay. So enhanced intuition heals yourself and others. So your ability to practice self-mastery, brothers and sisters, right? A lot of times people may have make excuses because they have external responsibilities. They have to do the kids, they have to manage all of these different situations that takes time away from them. Brother Rich opened up the program talking about some of those things that sometimes we have so much responsibilities that we void of internal activity. When we can find time to be the masters of our time and space, right? In our bodies and minds in space, and we can figure out what do we got to do to account and to apply our self-care, right? As not to negate that to be exposed of being in the world, right? When we can figure out that balance, everything opens up, right? Everything opens up. So, we talked about how to strengthen the sixth sense by doing these practices, by grounding yourself and having time to, move through your body and space and get quieted enough to listen, quiet enough to hear the voice within guiding you, right? But as we go through different protocols and exercises and challenges to face our own shadows by unblocking the trauma, we're not hearing a voice that's having us get into situations that are unproductive for us or having us attract relationships that are not empowering to us. But by helping to heal through our trauma, facing our shadows, and holding space and grace for ourselves in the process, we're strengthening this intuition, we're strengthening the sixth sense, and we're unblocking and unlocking it. Okay, so why do some people have this sixth sense, right? This is an attributed to a combination of factors, including genetics, upbringing, personal traits, life experiences. Some individuals may be more in tune to their emotions more than others, leading to a heightened sense of intuition. So, owning your emotional intelligence. Women naturally congregate around healing modalities, fellowship around culturing and nurturing, and thus women naturally are more in tune. They're known to be intuitives, but men also, the divine masculine, are also intuitives too. It's just that universally most men are not necessarily gathered gathered into strengthening that, right? So can you imagine when more men join women in that emotional intelligence and strengthening that inner voice, where we can actually encourage men that it's not non-masculine to go within himself and take sacred time for himself as to heal past wounds so he can show up more in an authentic signal of himself. That's powerful. And so when we have more men owning their intuition, more brothers owning their sixth sense, trusting their gut feelings, doing the work to strengthen himself, now that divine masculine is meeting the divine feminine in a balance. And though that relationship has the ability to not only create opportunities between those two, right? But also human beings that come through the union and the conception of this sixth sense power. Right. Additional activities to strengthen our sixth sense. So, for brothers and sisters that want to continue to strengthen the sixth sense, we want to encourage you to do regular meditation. Schedule it. Like a meditation may not look like a 45-minute time block. It can look like a 5-minute, 10-minute. Upon waking, you just take time to ground yourself and set an intention for your day. Focus on your mind body connection through your breathing, and really just set an intention. Like, I want today to be more harmonious, balanced, and productive. Maybe yesterday wasn't like that. So you set a new intention through your breathing and through your centering yourself. That's a way to strengthen your sixth sense. Um, Tai Chi, martial arts, exercise. I call exercise movement meditation. Okay. We spoke in the beginning that the sixth sense is known as a mind body connection in space, right? Which is called uh, proprioception, Proprioception, right? And that's the mind, the brain, connecting to the body in space, right? So through meditation, through movement exercise, martial arts, Tai Chi, it allows us to have that body mind connection strengthened, which heightens our senses, right? Connecting with nature. A lot of times, a lot of us are in urban situations and we don't have time. We have not made the time just to connect to nature. So if you have a front yard or a tree near you, just kind of grounding yourself, maybe taking off your shoes and going to the park and just grounding yourself in the earth, placing your hand on a tree just to connect, because the trees are here to help regulate the oxygen for us to be here, right? So just having that moment in nature with the trees, with the elements, allows us to strengthen our sixth sense. Keep a record of your dreams. A lot of times, your ancestors, your shining ones, your angels, your Orisha, your Interu are connecting with you through your dreams. Your ancestries are always speaking to you through your dreams, and some dreams may also align with your sixth sense, as far as giving you extra insight, to strengthen your gut feelings or your emotional intelligence so you can navigate better. So begin to keep, brothers and sisters, keep a journal. Even if this is like a little paragraph of what you experienced or what you took away from your dreams, can help strengthen your sixth sense. Chanting mantras. um it can look like an affirmation to you if you're a writer, if you're a rapper, if you're a poet. Creating like a self mantra or affirmation or a prayer or rap, right, or poem for yourself as a tuning fork that you can say in repetition. Let's say, I am Supernova Slom. I'm becoming transformative daily through my discipline. I'm Supernova Slom. I'm becoming more transformative daily through my discipline. So saying that repetitively, again, is strengthening the mind body connection, right? So I'm strengthening my thoughts with that repetition, and that repetition is strengthening my cells, is strengthening my limbs, is programming how my body shows up to that intention and affirmation. um the last part of that, I would say, to activate the sixth sense, is feeling the vibes. Like getting your feelings, not to be unproductive, right, and to be reckless with your speech, but getting to your feelings, getting to your sensitivity so you can guide how you respond and react to situations, right? Brothers and sisters tapping into their sensitivity doesn't make them weak. It makes them stewards and scientists of themselves. It knows how to set proper boundaries, how to better communicate with, your true feelings and expression outside of yourself, and it holds you to an accountability of knowing your mood swings and how to regulate yourself and move accordingly. Okay. Um, there are four levels of intuition. So we know that intuition is a protocol, a modality expression of the sixth sense, right? So the key to utilizing four main avenues of our intuition is to communicate with us, which is known in psychic circles as the four clairs. Okay. Clairaudience, which is hearing the voice. Clairvoyance, seeing the image. Okay. Clairsentience, which is recognizing feelings, and claircognizance, which is knowing. Okay, so we have hearing voices, seeing images, recognizing feelings, and knowing, right? So the more we can find a way to holistically move through these protocols by our daily knowledge of ourselves and doing these activities that I showed that will strengthen your sixth sense, it allows us to tap into these powerful abilities and become fully the unleashed X-Men and women, the superheroes and sheroes, the gods and goddesses in this physical time space continuum that we can create and co-create into life that is which we want it to be, regardless of the outside chaos, distractions. And as Brother Rich said, the universal mind control, right? So either you're gonna have control of yourself, or you're granting control of yourself to the atmosphere. right? If there's no in between. You're either gonna be the master and the masteress of yourself, and find ways to navigate what that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be perfect, but creating and systemizing a daily regimen, protocol, and accountability that you can go to strengthen yourself so you can better deploy and navigate in life, right? If you don't take heed to these disciplines, now you are subjected to what Brother Rich calls is a universal mind control. These protocols that are set up to use us not for our highest and wisest, but for the benefit of the oppressors um, take and stake into our well-being by being disciplined stewards of our intuition and our sixth sense. We are able to unplug from the matrix and navigate it according to Are you there? I'm sorry, I had a call coming. I'm sorry, family.
Yeah, you
So
good? You
it
good?
allows us to better navigate how we see fit to show up in our lives. Okay. Um, I'm gonna close out with some herbs that can be taken to strengthen your nerves, for your sensitivity, your neurons, your mind, and your consciousness that go along with the sixth sense. So we're gonna go start with herbs for the nerves. Herbs such as valerian, Valeran, valerian, chamomile, Chamomile, and passion flower. Okay, these herbs provide acute relief to the nervous system and nervous tension. Okay, so also additional for those that have problems sleeping and resting, and tapping into that dream state. You can mix chamomile with lavender and make it as a tea, and have that. I would say at least 1 hour to 45 minutes before you rest to really calm your nervous system into the rest, so that you can be more sensitive to the dreams and the channels that are coming forward. Now, so we talked about herbs for the nerves, right? Now let's talk about herbs.
Yeah, I think he got another call coming in, family. Let's wait for the brother to get back. All right, he's doing a wonderful presentation so far, though, family. Wonderful presentation. He's setting the mood for the night. It's gonna be a
Brother
great
Rich,
show. Yes, Supernova. Yes,
you
yes.
can hear me?
Yeah, hey, you good? You
Oh,
good?
okay. I'm sorry, family. Queen of Fool, my mother keeps calling me.
It's all good.
I apologize to the family. I'm gonna say Queen of Fool sends her love to y'all. She just keeps calling me, and I'm trying to. I said, Mom, I'm in the general. So I was just completing telling y'all that ashwagandha. Okay, ashwagandha is good for strengthening the brain and the six senses. Turmeric, goda cola, these are the additional herbs that can be taken as tea and as tinctures, and you can even stack that in the lavender and chamomile. You can even have a brain nervous system tea, or I call a pot. Get a pot going. You can get loose herbs. You get some tinctures from the vitamin shop. GNC sells these tinctures, and you can create your own nervous system
Excellent.
brain tea that can strengthen you as you go through the protocols that we shared with Brother Rich and the family about strengthening the sixth sense. And I really feel, family, if we begin to express the protocols that were shared and go more deeper into it, not only will we be sensitive to our true authentic selves, but as Brother Rich stated in the caption about the mind control, we'll be able to control ourselves to navigate.
Supernova, that was an excellent presentation right
Brother
there.
Rich, I
Thank you.
can't hear you. Can I log off and come back in?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't hear you, Brother Rich.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm gonna jump off and come back in, family.
Okay. Yeah, let Supernova take care of that real quick. Intuition, it's about to get real fun in here, yo. We're gonna have a real modern discussion on intuition. Every society, because of culture, we apply it in different ways or understand it in different ways. So I think in order for this generation to understand intuition, as always with what I like to do, I like to use modern examples, or just make it talk about it in a way that relates to our culture. So it's going to be a real fun discussion. Um, about intuition. What's going on with y'all in the chat though? We on the fast, by the way. Shout out to everybody who's on the fast. I see y'all. I see some of y'all in there. We on day 5 right now. Supernova, you hear me?
I hear you, brother. We're on.
Excellent,
We're on.
excellent,
Yeah, yeah.
excellent.
And
So,
I just told my mom to stop calling us. Me and brother Richard building. She laughed.
okay,
She
yeah,
apologized.
shout out to Queen of Four,
Yeah.
and my condolences, my brother. I didn't get a chance to tell you to
Oh,
your grandmother.
grandmother. Oh, thank you,
Yes,
beloved.
my
Yes,
condolences,
yes.
my brother.
Ashe.
May she rise in power.
Yes.
First thing I want to talk about tonight, like I just finished telling the family, this is going to be a very fun discussion with me and you tonight on intuition. You're SupaNova Slom. You deal with diet. You've helped a lot of people improve their diet. A lot of people associate a good diet, veganism, not eating meat, with an increased intuition. SupaNova. The question I want to ask you is, to me, nobody was more intuitive than Big Mama, and Big Mama ate pork. Big Mama, everybody had a Big Mama, grandmama, or great grandma, or great great grandmama. Back in the day, black people, the diet wasn't the same as it is now. We didn't
Right.
have the
Right.
information from a Dr. Sabi or Dick Gregory or whoever, but
Mhm.
or the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So in the
Right.
40s, the 30s, the 50s, the 60s, a lot of black people was on that pork, and Big Mama was intuitive like a mom. So talk
Right.
to me about in an era where women were eating pork, intuitive to the sky, but now you see women and men are vegan, and intuition just ain't up there with Big Mama, who was eating pig every Sunday or
Okay.
three times a week.
So let's talk about holistic wellness, right?
Yes,
The ability
yes.
to balance the discipline and the protocols to strengthen mind, body, and spirit, and how they work in tandem, right? So our elders were, even though they were in some serious adverse environments, they had an intuitive activated matrix happening.
Yeah.
When we talk about nutrition, we have to understand what happened with foods before 1960. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all foods in this country were organic. Everything was organic. Okay, there was no Monsanto, there was no
No,
manipulation
yeah.
of genes and
Right,
all of
right.
that. Majority of it was
Good
organic, and
point.
most of our people were from the South,
Yeah.
and those are from the north who had access to farms, and the ones in the north had access to farmers markets more abundantly
Yeah.
because of folks from the south. So we had a very powerful farming culture in this country, regardless of race or ethnicity,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody had access to organic foods. Hence my grandmother transitioned at 100 years old.
Yeah,
Okay,
beautiful,
so
man. Oh,
so
beautiful.
the,
Yeah.
the reason I'm bringing that up to you, brother Rich, is that yes, they did consume flesh, but it
Mm-hmm.
was a small portion because most of our families come from baby boomer families. So our
Mm.
grandmothers and them were having 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah,
9,
right.
10, 12, 20 kids. I mean, I have one relative in my family that had 25 kids. So when
Wow.
you have 20, 10, 25 kids, you
Yeah.
can't be, everybody can't be high on the hog, high in the chicken, high. Everybody has to have portions.
With
So
small portions.
another thing that they administered portion, kind of like how the Asian cultures integrate meat. It's,
Yeah.
it's, it's not a main stake for nutrition, it's portional.
Right,
So
right, right.
most of our people from the South, because of lack of resources, right, they had portion control because they had to have it.
Yeah.
So when they didn't have meat, what other things they had? Grains, they had herbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They integrated all these fruits and vegetables. That became the staple, even the carbohydrates, the healthy carbohydrates, the yams, the red potatoes. These things were more abundant. So the children in themselves ate more abundant of fruits and vegetables and roots and seeds, and meat was a garnish. It wasn't a main staple. So it wasn't a main staple yet, and it yet didn't have all types of extra synthetics and chemicals injected into it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so the marketing machine didn't hone in on it like that yet.
Mm-hmm.
After the 60s, it became fully an actualized industry, in a race-based industry. So that's what become the fast food started to boom up from the 60s and beyond. So now
Right.
you have a new generation of kids that are birthed from fast food conception, right? And
Yeah.
that situation. And now what you start seeing is that a lot of the health disparities that our people are facing, the diabetes, the hypertension, obesity, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't as high before
Wasn't.
1960s,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
you even had bigger black people that were body mass bigger, living to be 80, 90, and 100 because it was more holistic. They were more nature oriented,
Mm-hmm.
okay? From the Caribbean to the main states, there was always a medicine men and women in the family. So
Right.
basically, because we couldn't afford a lot of the pharmaceuticals. So you had to go to Big Mama, Big Uncle, or medicine man, auntie, medicine auntie, right? To give you an extra concoction to detox and to flush your colon and to flush your sickness when a kid had a runny nose or something. So we were more holistic and oriented. From the 60s on, we just became an activated. You saw the what we you know the history of the turbulent 60s that we were going through. So everything was weaponized against us. Everything, from the Tuskegee experiments to the fast food culture to even the disconnect between the black men and women, post the Black Panther Party of how we would show up to each other, and even the women being more successful in corporate America. Now the man wasn't only as the sole provider. Now the woman is being competitive. She's showing up, right? And now he's competing with this woman. It's a lot of modalities that we have to consider that impacted how we show up and function today. Now, you mentioned something. Did I make before I go into the current vegans? Did that make sense? What I was saying
Excellent.
about?
You killed that. Yeah, you killed that. Good. Yeah.
And so brother Rich, most of the elders that lived to be 80, 90, and to be centurions, like my grandmother, because they had a balanced lifestyle between proportion control, they were in nature, they did some type of movement meditation daily. They were able to expand and create life extension. Our generation now, it's more, you need more than just being vegan to activate, right? Now to have, let's just go into the science of processing flesh, right? Ha- Not the body is water. The body is 70% or more mainly water based, right? So in order to have the body function at an optimum level, it needs movement. That's why the doctor will always say you need to eat more fruits and vegetables, because the fruits and vegetables are water, are water based, and they
Right.
flow movement. Fried foods, non-nutritional foods, and even flesh creates blockage and backed up. And so if you have a person that doesn't know portion control, doesn't hydrate daily, doesn't do any movement, but just has a high meat diet, is creating blockage and flow in the ascending and descending colon. In men, it can ultimately mutate as not only colon cancer but prostate issues. In women, not only colon issues but also issues with the womb. So we're talking about flow. So my stance more in veganism is not necessarily about being dogmatic. Being a vegan is better than someone who is not. It's more about finding out what is the balance for you, right? Because some people, I was born and raised vegan. For those that don't know, that means from Queen of Four's womb, I'm going to be 47 Monday, 47 years. I was 47 years vegan, right? Now, I had family members when I was little gave me chicken, all the meats, right? But I always got sick, and so
Right.
they stopped feeding me meat because they said the minute he takes it in, I start throwing up, I start going into hay fevers. So I have tried meat, but it didn't, my body just rejected it, right?
Wow.
So when I administer health and wellness, brother Rich, to brothers and sisters, I come not from a dogmatic place because I was born vegan, more to meet people where they at, right? Because I deal with brothers and sisters that have the discipline to create a nourishing protocol to become a vegan, right? Because you really you need your micronutrients, you need your proper carbohydrates, your proper fats, and your proper plant proteins and your vegetation, right? Some vegans are not really disciplined with that, right? But I'll also be brothers and sisters that eat flesh, but just want to integrate more plant-based living and holistic living, right? So I'm more of a balanced person. I'm not my way or the highway. I try to meet people where they at in their wellness and empower them with protocols. And so what I take away from the centurions and the elders that you mentioned, Brother Rich, from past time, is that they found a way to find balance in how they administered wellness to themselves and how they showed up with their nutrition, showed up socially, showed up to their relationships, showed up to how they function. They created a balanced protocol. And I feel whether current generation is vegan or not, if we figure out what is our daily disciplines, what do we need to sustain ourselves, like we talked about earlier about strengthening the sixth sense, if we can find a way to regiment that and protocol that for self-care and design a system that works for you, whether you become a vegan like myself or you just in transition, right? Finding a wellness protocol that works for you, that's going to strengthen your body, mind, and spirit. That is our ultimate fight against the mind control.
Excellent. Excellent. Is there, SupaNova, is there some type of unwritten rule or law that intuitive people can't have a lot of friends? Because whenever you meet a very intuitive person, they seem to be one lonely mother. You know what I'm saying?
You
They
know why?
lonely, bro.
Because they read, they quick. You know, the gift is so strong, brother. But they can scan the room. What Jay-Z said, I learned how to move in a room full of vultures,
Full of
right?
vultures, right?
So
Yeah,
that's the way of saying that he has intuitive strength. So being
yeah.
able to scan your friends, your family, and know, okay, maybe I not need to go to that party tonight. The energy's off, or maybe I need to just stay home and reflect. That's a powerful skill, and it can
Oh,
get
yeah.
you to be lonely. When I found out how to navigate the lonely, brother Rich, one is continue the self mastery, but also, in like we're talking tonight, inspire men and women to awaken to their gift. Because the more we can awaken to gift, you find yourself now with a community of brothers and sisters that are activating their sixth sense gifts, right? And so I
Mhm.
think that's what it's about. Taking that solo time, taking that intuitive time by yourself, pouring into yourself daily, and then finding ways to speak out what you have learned from that discipline and encourage others to unlock. And before you know it, you won't be alone anymore. You'll start to actually create a community of awakened, sages and activated men and women that are doing their work.
Excellent. Do you think woman supernova, in your fair time out there, your time out there in the market, dating, being with the ladies out here, are they intimidated of an intuitive man supernova?
They can be. They can be because they're not necessarily used to that.
Not used to it,
Because women hold women universally across
yeah.
race and ethnicity lines hold the signal of intuition. And you know, our sisters are kind of cocky once they know how to read. They clear. And that's not negative. It's not a negative thing.
Yeah.
But women are much more exalted in that. So they're not used to men reflecting them like that. You
Yeah.
know, and I
Yeah.
think it's a plus, and that goes into a man that can reflect a woman intuitively. One, she may be intimidated, but she respects him because she know he gonna pick up if it's BS or not. You
Right.
know,
Right.
and more times than not, that man is being able to show up to that woman as his authentic self. That means he means what he says and he says what he means. He's not here to play games. He probably at one point was a game player, was a a person moving and shaking, but he knows how to value his time and his energy. You know, and though a woman may be intimidated by that, a lot of times it's better for the man to kind of stand on that dean so he can attract the right woman to complement that. Because
Mhm.
you have an intuitive woman that's intimidated, then you have an intuitive woman, brother Rich, that's fully on her power. And so
Mhm.
when she attracts a man that is on his power, she's excited, to
Yeah.
compliment him, and he's excited to compliment her.
Yeah, it totally threw my lady off. She wasn't. I know she wasn't used to it.
She
Like
wasn't
she
used to
was
it.
like, yeah, wasn't
Yeah,
used to that shit at all, man.
yeah,
And I'm like strong on my shit. I'm like, yo, you ain't know I
absolutely.
was like, you ain't know this, like
Come
nothing,
on.
but I'm just aware of shit, like
You're aware.
super
Right,
aware.
right.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Somebody said something true in the
Mm.
chat. They said women they see it as feminine misinterpretation. Women do see that shit as feminine, which makes men in return hide it even more.
So let's go into that, right? So in the age of Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
This is the age of I know. We're no longer in Pisces, I believe. See, that's
Mhm.
a belief. That's an old belief that did its service. In
Mhm.
this age, right? We are men and women birthed through the portals of men and women. It takes the man's fluid of life to to go inside the womb of life and bring us. So we are the totality of our mothers and fathers and our great grandfathers and from time immortal. So now what has to happen now, the more us men, like you just said, how your woman wasn't aware that you had it, but you said you stand on your dean and you're gonna
She,
be on
it,
your
it, it- she
signal.
she was
the
thrown off
more
by
the
it.
more
Yeah.
we can encourage our men to take on their healing, transform their trauma to triumph, and tap into that skill. It is a forward feminine attribute, but it's supported by the masculine. Look at the Ankh. The Ankh is the womb, the children, the father, right? So the Ankh upholds the feminine attribute, but it's still itself. So
Right.
just because we reflect the God this aspect of our women in our behavior intuitionally does not make us less than men. It actually makes us an actualized man because we're activating our mother, right brain function, and our father, left brain function.
Right.
we're guided by those forces. So when you get into these metaphysic forces within, it transcends the gender code that has been subscribed to either one. It's like our sisters are warriors too. The coding is she's just feminine. She's supposed to be just protected.
Right.
Well,
Right.
there's
Right.
another code that says our women need to also be able to throw down, right?
Right. Right.
So it's
Right.
really about understanding the metaphysical attributes of the divine masculine and feminine, and how we can learn from each other to better ourselves as better men, and also women learning from men to be better women by understanding our spiritual skills.
I can see why you do counseling. You good with this shit, Supernova. I can
Listen,
see you good with this shit,
I
man.
love. Listen,
Oh
brother Rich,
man,
I give it to my three fathers. Rest in peace, my father David Terrain, Chief Shango B. My first stepfather, for those that don't know, Dr. Phil Valentine, and then my third stepfather, currently, which is Baba Heru. So those three wise men poured into me, as well as the sacred mothership Queen of Fua. So I've been bred for service, in any way I can
indeed.
support brothers and sisters and encourage them, I'm here to support.
We had the woman, the sisters was going crazy in their chat. They like, where the intuitive men at? They like, where they at?
No, I'll tell you where they at.
Where
Sisters,
are
see,
these men?
sisters, we have a protocol called Man Heal Thyself, the Wellness Warrior's Journey to Self-Mastery, inspired by my book that I co-wrote with my mother, Queen Afua. I have a online training that we do once a year that's coming up now for the spring semester. It's a 12-week protocol that we share with brothers on how to holistically empower him to become an unleashed, authentic powerhouse of himself. This is the age where the divine masculine returns into his full power, his activated power, his intuitive power,
Excellent.
his
Yeah.
mind body connection. And so the Man Heal Thyself protocol inspires men to face the shadow, face that wounded 5-year-old version of himself, the 10-year-old version, the 21-year-old version, when he wasn't as empowered. Forgive that. Do the spiritual work daily to restore himself as the current man he is, so he can be unleashed and unlocked. So, sisters, the brothers are gearing up, and we call them wellness warriors, men that are fighting for the greatest quality of their lives. So that's my vision, Brother Rich.
Mm.
You are a wellness warrior. You and brothers on this channel, who are doing the work and pouring back into yourselves and sharing the atmosphere for others to be the best versions of themselves. That's my vision: is to have a planet of men across all classes of social economic backgrounds, tapping into their holistic power and becoming the divine masculine. We talk always about the divine feminine because we love her, we honor her. But can you imagine, Brother Rich, when we empower and strengthen the divine masculine, so he not can only care for himself, but he can have excellent service for his family, for his women, and his work in the world.
Definitely. Supernova, I'm curious. What was your defining moment, would you say, when you realized that intuition was this unstoppable godlike force and you needed to really tap into it? I'm gonna give you mine, generalize mine. It was a time when I had to make a business decision, and I went against the grain. It was dealing with the
Mm.
whole conscious thing. I went against the grain. I went against the advice of the so-called experts and master teachers, because in my mind, I was like, no, I'm gonna listen to my intuition. I don't care how much of a master he is. I'm gonna listen to my intuition. And my intuition wound up being true. And when that
Mm-mm.
happened, I was like, yeah, this is this shit, right? This is that what Bruce Leroy said, the glow. This is how
The
I get the
glow. It's the
glow.
glow.
Yeah, this is how I get this glow.
It was the
I don't
glow.
I
Yeah.
when the intuition is online, Supernova, I don't listen to nobody but it. When I get that
That
message, so
that
what
that that's
what
called that's
yeah,
discipline, brother. That well, my for me,
yeah,
when I was a teenager, unfortunately, even though I was raised by these amazing elders, I had my time in the streets. My first father, he was going through the crack cocaine addiction. For those that
yeah.
don't know, while mom is doing holistic wellness, I have a parent that's dealing with crack cocaine. That
Mm,
dynamic, that extreme, having Queen of Fu
yeah,
do the wellness, and my father
yeah,
going through that in the projects in Brooklyn in the
yeah.
90s. Blue and Red Pill talk about their experience in the 90s. We were, we had a lot of similar experiences, and I was heavy into the street life, hustling, gang banging. I was with the what they say with the shits. I
With
was
the
in
shit,
that, and
yes. Mhm.
even though I was in that at that time, right, Brother Rich, my intuition was heightened, right? So I would really be listening because you're in environments that can compromise your life. One time, Brother Rich, I heard my voice tell me, do not, I was to meet my homies downtown Brooklyn. It said, do not go to downtown Brooklyn today. And we were all
Woo.
planning on the weekend to go to downtown Brooklyn back when Albee Square Mall was popping. You know what I mean? So we just go down, you know, in our low and our Gucci and our what's that? Fila, you know, Guess, all of that 90s stuff that we were into. And we show out. At the last minute, I was about to walk out my house and I said, you know what? I'm not going, you know? And I decided to take a nap. When I woke up, I had a voicemail message from my cousin with some of my homies who meet me downtown Brooklyn, and they said it was a big shootout at the mall, you know, and one of the brothers that we were with got shot. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And some other folks, and they wasn't even the target. It was just some other brothers beefing, and one of our brothers got hit, and some other. And I said, look at that intuition.
Yeah.
And I would kind of, you know, sometimes you doubt yourself, you don't doubt, you're on, you're off. At that moment, I think I was 16 when that happened, and it let me know I better be obedient because
Oh.
there's some guardian angels. We call them guardian angels. We call them,
Mm.
you know, heightened exalted masters. We call it ancestors, right? We call them ourselves. All of
Mm.
it is true. They're in us and they're with us at all times. And the more we obedient to it, the more it becomes strengthened, you know. And it's not perfect. Sometimes, you know, life happens, Brother Rich. Life be lifing. We get caught up in our traumas. We get caught up in blockage, and we forget who we are. We forget to activate it, you know. And life will teach you how to get back into your discipline quick.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that was one of my prominent memories around, you know, listening.
Yeah. You know, I asked you earlier about the brothers who were intuitive and the sisters being intimidated. I know for a fact that brothers is intimidated of intuitive women. Because growing up, I remember just being young. Whenever
Yeah.
a brother got with a sister that was tapped in and she knew shit was going on. Woo, boy, he ain't like that shit. No.
Well, oh yeah,
Matter
because
of fact,
yeah,
real quick,
yeah.
a term that they sometimes they be using. They be like, man, she batshit crazy. Nah, she not batshit crazy. She know
She
what you're
on it. No,
doing.
no, no, no.
She on
Yeah,
it.
she know.
She on
She's
it.
called.
They be like, she batshit crazy. No, nigga, she know what you doing.
She know. That's it. I mean, it's what you said, Brother Rich. Yeah, you know, that, you know, men need that. Men need to be reminded on the power of the intuition, and women
Right.
are our reminder. You know, and you know, when a man is intimidated, as you said, Brother Rich, about it,
Yeah.
it's really it's a signal for him to awaken. She's actually inciting him to awake. When a woman
Wow.
constantly reading you, reminding you, she's actually her higher self, not the ego version of herself, is
Right.
calling you to meet her there, right?
Mm.
And some brothers are not ready to actually, you know, transcend the trauma and really be honest, you know. And this
Mm.
is why we have to strengthen our brothers with the tools that are necessary for him to unlock that voice. Because a lot of men, regardless, Brother Rich, of their material accumulation, feel voiceless. You know, there are a
Mm.
lot of men in committed relationships, Brother Rich, that fully have not unleashed who they are to their woman. They love their woman. They probably been with their woman 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. But does your wife, woman, girlfriend really know you? A lot of times it's because brothers have not built confidence of showing up as a thought authentic self. He shows up as his straw man, his representative. And most
Mm.
time his representative is cultivated by outside factors, right? Not really his true self, but what a man is supposed to be. So he plays and masters the role, but he's in the role, he's mastering, he's never showing up as himself in that role, you
Mm.
know? So
Mm.
he's becoming more
Powerful.
voiceless. So we have to be
Powerful.
encouraging our brothers that is okay to open up that intuition, do the listening, take the time to ground and get quiet enough to hear.
Indeed. Indeed. What do you think? Let me ask you this because you are, and I like how we're tackling the divine masculine and the divine feminine in terms of intuition. I think we're both learning in this conversation. I think SupaNova, make sure y'all buy this brother's book, family. He's doing a magnificent job tonight on this subject. All right, so I want to ask you another question. I guess this question will be tailored toward the divine masculine.
Yes.
Um, in terms of working out, because you know they say, you know, we want our body to have, you talked about water and you talked about flow and letting the blood flow so we can
Yeah.
have clear thoughts. So most people go to the gym. So you got something that the brothers do called weightlifting. You know, I see
Absolutely.
you up there lifting weights.
Absolutely.
Then you got yoga. The thing about weightlifting and yoga that's so different is the movement is so different. One movement, the weightlifting, it reminds you of a manly posture. And the yoga reminds you of a feminine posture. So the men that go to that weightlift, you usually don't see them do yoga. You usually see them stick to the weightlifting and not go to the arena of yoga. But they said Wayne Chandler say yoga is one of the best, and Tai Chi is one of the best things you could do
Absolutely.
for energetic purposes. So what
Absolutely.
message would you have to a man where he don't want to be going like that and all that, all that movement in yoga, but this is the most beneficial practice for you energetic, because we want to be in that weights and lifting the weights. So even, what's funny, and I don't mean, even during sex, a lot of brothers, their movements during sex is like weightlifting. They're like, you talked about that. Instead of, a sister will say you have to, rotate and, and move around. You got to do
Ease
that.
going down the road.
You got to move. Yeah. But they be like, what I'm saying? So talk to the brothers about,
Let's unpack.
yeah,
Let's
unpack it,
unpack.
brother.
Oh, we
Unpack it,
about to
brother. Come
unpack.
on.
Y'all better be ready for this unpacking. All right, so we're gonna start with the sexual energy, and then we'll work our way back to what Brother Rich said
Okay.
about
All right.
yoga
Okay.
and resistance training, strength training,
Yes.
which is weights.
Yes.
All right. So the man that smack it, flips it, rub it down, right? Bang, 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 pounding, smash it up, ram it
Pound,
up, jack
pound
it up,
town. Pound
right?
town.
Pound town. All of that, all of that activity, although it has a physical carnal connection, it's not intimate for himself nor the woman that he's engaged with.
Mm,
Okay, when a man lacks the ability to be intimately engaging with his woman, he's unknown to himself. Again, I mentioned earlier, Brother Rich, that a woman's being intuitive inspires a man to be on his intuitive, but he may translate it as, she's crazy or she's out of her, whatever. No, she's on her Dean. When
yeah.
a woman tells you to slow down and be easy, what she's doing is helping you to ground into the sex. A lot of men, most don't even know how to have sex. Sex has become performative. It
Mm,
has not be sex in its full essence is an exchange. That's why it's called intercourse, right? You have to
mhm.
enter and go through the course,
Right.
right? And a woman tells you, slow down. You actually have to, we talk about
Listen.
intuition. Listen,
Listen.
a woman's telling you, slow down, go here, hit there,
Because
go faster, hold it. She's giving you sexual instructions. You have to get outside of your ego to receive the instruction. Now, if a man receives the woman's instruction, not only is he's going to satisfy her, but the reward for him as a great listener, he's activating his sensitivity and he's activating his nerves, his neurons into the portal of his shaft that transcends just the sensitive nodes on his shaft. He's actually having a body mind experience,
mm,
physically, mentally, and spiritually with his woman is opening him up to the moment. It's opening her up. So I
mhm,
would encourage men to begin to, again, the more we know ourselves, Brother Rich, right, the
mhm.
more we can actually bring that to the table. I don't fault the men who go to Pound Town and that's all they know. But I would encourage brothers to slow down and listen to your woman. Hold space for that. Um, you holding space for your woman and listening to those sacred instructions during intercourse allows you to open up and allows you to bring another version of yourself that you've probably never even tapped into to have even a greater orgasm or greater release with yourself through your woman and also your woman being satisfied.
Mhm.
Was that clear before we go into the next part,
Oh,
Brother Rich?
excellent, man. You killing it tonight. Go ahead, brother.
The
Go ahead.
next the next part, brothers and sisters, we talk about uh strength training, resistance training, weightlifting, like Brother Rich talked about, and then yoga. Now, Brother Rich, I say both are necessary, right? Because yoga is a body prayer, right? You're
Mhm,
forming, you're sitting in a lotus position, or you're moving into these different positions to unlock the body, right? And to put energy, or they call prana, life force, or second in the communication faith, into that specific area. And you're holding that yogic position and setting an attention in the hold. The same thing can be said when you're doing a going through a protocol of resistance training and you're lifting the weight, you're pushing the weight, you're doing the pull up, you're doing the push up. You're setting your intention for growth. You're moving through the full motion to express full collapse for it to grow. So I feel that the masculine aspect of weights is very important, just as a feminine expression such as maybe tai chi could be, because it's flowing. Flowing
Mhm.
is dealing with the female attribute. Once again, we the stewards of our mothers and fathers, our grandfathers and grandmothers and greats. So when you have the ability to move, Bruce Lee's biggest affirmation quote, Brother Rich, was "Be water, my friend, be water." So really, that's a feminine attribute, right? To flow,
Right.
to know the
Right. Flow.
flow. So know
Yeah.
the flow and also know how to build through the resistance. So we need to
Right.
build through the resistance with weights. We come on the planet as weight to balance the weight, and we have to know how to flow. You need resistant power protocol, and you need to know how to flow. So I'm inspiring brothers to be more holistic with yourself. It's okay to master both disciplines, or what I call complementary disciplines,
Mm,
right? That we call masculine and feminine. These are
mm,
complementary disciplines. My
mm.
mother and father are complemented in SupaNova Slom. Brother Richard's beloved mother and father are complemented in him, and all of you brothers and sisters on the call. So we can find out the depths of this masculine and feminine protocol in ourselves so we can show up better. Brother Rich, we become limitless.
No, that's super fact, super no. I wanna we about to hit the hour mark. I want to get to a couple of questions from the people.
Yeah.
Before I do, I want to ask you one more question. And I think this is important for people when it comes to tapping into their intuition or knowing when to listen to their intuition. And I would love for you to expound on it, Supernova. One of the things that I've experienced that helps make me we talked about my music earlier, that helps make me a good music producer, a great music producer, is I say I go into the studio with an intention of
Mm.
thinking I'm gonna do one thing. In the middle of me working on a beat, something might tell me, nah, hit this. Like I want it,
Oh,
I want to press this over here, but something
yeah.
to say, no, hit this over there. I listen.
You
So I
listen.
want when somebody, a lot of us Supernova, when we have a game plan, we stick to it. And the intuition will be like, no, change it up just a little, and we won't listen because we think we have the game plan already. Supernova, I switch up the game plan the last second if my intuition tells me to. So I'm always I go in there with the intention of doing one thing, but if I get that intuitive call, then I'm just I'm the artist. No, listen, I just got this vibe, this feeling. We got to go in this direction, I think. So talk to the people about maybe the importance, Supernova, of maybe we think we're gonna do one thing and we wind up doing a whole nother thing that we
Absolutely.
that we didn't even know of, and that end up being the right thing that we're supposed to do all from the beginning.
The ego, Brother Rich, is fixed. The
Fixed,
ego is
yes,
always fixed. It's not
yeah,
negative, it's just fixed. It's focused on what it's focused on.
yeah, yeah,
But we need to be fixed and flexible. We just talked about the protocol of water flow
yeah, yeah,
and yoga,
yeah.
tai chi, and
Right,
resistance, weight
right.
building,
Mhm.
creating a holistic protocol where you can be fixed and into flow, right? So Brother Rich talked about being a producer, working with artists, right? Being able to listen, like he's creating, he's fixed on what his intention is, but he's also open and flexible for spirit to come through and through him and to him as to what else additional is needed for the production to be perfected, right? So look, so
Mhm.
like Brother Richard said, look at yourself as the production. Look at yourself as you producing the best life you can for yourself. It may not be perfect, and you don't have to make it perfect, right? But you can be able to be fixed on your goal, set your intention, but be flexible enough and open to listen when it's time to change, enhance, remix, restore, reorder.
Right. Indeed, indeed. Hey, family, give me some questions for Supernova. We're tapping into intuition tonight. We're learning about intuition. A wonderful conversation for the brothers and the sisters out there. I just really appreciate conversations like these because these are things that we can start implementing immediately. You know what? While y'all give me these questions, I know I had a question earlier. Supernova. Let me put my
Yes.
brother here while I look through these questions. Okay, this was a good one. Somebody asked earlier. I've been able to foresee things to come concerning others, but not myself. Why is that?
Okay, so that's called an external sensitivity, right?
Mhm.
So that person has mastered the external sensitivity gift. Like they can always pick up externally, right? I would encourage you need to do grounding. Meditation is a form of grounding. Going into
Okay.
nature and just breathing is a form of grounding. You need to find a grounding protocol that you can do at least once to two times a day, to strengthen that muscle to get quiet. A lot of times people with the external sensitivity gift uh, are intimidated by what they call the noise within, right? So they're really unknown to themselves. Even though they have the gift for others, they are unknown to tap into the gift for themselves. The only way to unblock that noise and move through the noise in yourself is you have to face your shadow. You have to face yourself enough through the noise and quiet yourself to quiet your mind, and begin to ask yourself in that protocol what is needed to be strengthened. You will find if you can figure out how to quiet the noise within, facing your shadow self and sitting in that grounding, your gift to read external sensories will be even more increased and much more powerful. But you have to take the time to, and perhaps the person asking that, there may be some trauma in your journey, with parents, family,
Mm,
relationships, with
mhm,
visions, goals that you may need to face and forgive yourself for. So I would
mhm,
encourage you tonight, brother or sister that said that question, write a forgiveness letter or forgiveness note for yourself, chronicling those moments and times that have not been properly processed and healed. Give yourself a grace and space to acknowledge that. Write that letter, read it to yourself, then burn it as a sense to purify it. Right?
mhm,
That's
mhm.
an immediate spell ritual that you can do to shift your atmosphere.
Indeed. All right. Let's get this thing moving. Let's get to this next question. All right. What about our children? What do we need to do to help navigate them and encourage them with their intuitiveness, as well as those that we know are pretty much indigo children?
Yes. Well, I would tell you what my mother queen would do with me. She would talk to me. She would come and challenge my signal. She would ask me to read her, right? So she'll lay out a few scenarios and say, "Son, I want you to go into meditation," right? So basically, you teach your children how to center themselves, how to be in tune with their breathing and their mind body connection, right? And you just allow them to just practice questions with them. Hey, son, what should I do? She'll say, "Son, should I go this way, go that way," right? And she would already have read it. Right. And she'll ask me my full get out my ego, my intuition. And then I would just say, "Hey, mom, this is what the spirit is telling me. This is what." So she would just work with me over time for me to be confident in my ability to read, right? And she said all the time when I would give her the readings, they were accurate. But she started me at very young. I remember probably the earliest memory was I was around 5. She started me very young. So I would say, brothers and sisters, trust your children, because see, children are already they're in the developmental phase as new deployers to the planet. So they're in between being programmed, between being here and also open with their signals. So they actually, you ask it, like they say, a child's truth, a child will come up to you and read you, or a child will probably rebel from you or not want to go around you because they pick up. What children's intuition is very strong. And so I think parents, if we could put our children through certain protocols and challenges just to strengthen that confidence, our children can be very much more powerful as indigo children.
I had it on mute. My fault, y'all had it on
Okay.
mute. I didn't want
Was
the
that clear,
noise.
Brother Rich? Did
No,
I
yeah,
get that?
yeah,
Okay.
hell yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah. We good to go. Supernova. All right. What does having a certain person on your third eye coming on very strong to the point I can see the person face?
Uh, can you clarify that for me, Brother Rich? I think I know what they're saying. Can you bottom line that? What they're trying to
Oh
say?
man, what does having a certain person? Yeah, I don't know if it's the person is on their mind or their third eye. Maybe they just may be thinking about something where they could see their, they could feel. Yeah, I'm not sure, Supernova.
Yeah, yeah. I would say, a beloved brother or sister that said that question. I'm not really clear, but let me try to think what I am seeing to respond. So you have you're very intuitive. With your third eye, you can read, and in your reading, you can see you can see this person very strong, to the point you can see their face. You can pick up on them. I think that's a powerful ability, and you need, if the ability is to read someone and to see someone for who they truly are. I think that's a wonderful skill. Now if you're seeing someone in the vision or in the meditation, and you have not maybe approached them, and you do know who they are, it may be an opportunity to form a bond with them or communication by sharing what you are seeing and what you're picking up by channeling them through your third eye visualization.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm wondering if the person is she talking about a certain person she doesn't have contact with, or a person she has contact with. Now, if
Right.
it's a person
So
she, yeah, you guys, so yeah.
yeah. I was just gonna say. So if the person she doesn't have contact with, but she knows and she keeps getting readings,
Mm,
she may need to be the guardian angel for them, like show up for them and say,
mhm.
hey, I have people do that for me, brother Rich. They call me, hey, Supernova, you was on my meditation, my mind today, and Spirit wanted me to tell you this, and I'm grateful for that person. They'd be randomly just in my inbox or give me a message telling me that they had a message for me. So I would say if she's getting the message and the vision is being sent for her to share. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, Supernova, the ladies need help tonight.
Let's
The
go. Let's go.
lady
Let's help these
said,
sisters. Let's help them.
she said, please explain what is going on with a man that loves to masturbate. Woo.
A man that loves to masturbate. Okay, so let me say, rest in peace, Dr. Africa. He talked about masturbation, and he said that from a basic bodily restoring process, it's good for a man to masturbate once or twice a week just to allow the flow, right? And I
Mm,
mean, and I'm not talking about pornography. He wasn't talking about pornography or anything like that. He was just saying that outside of sexual interaction with his woman or partner, it's good for a man to set a time one time to two times a week just to let the the whole area just be released and flow. Now, you say a man that loves to masturbate. Well, if you have a man and he loves masturbating more than being in the womb, that's a problem, right? That's a problem, and he may need there may be some trauma and blockage around performance. We talked about that earlier. Some men are performative in the visions of their heads, but are intimidated by the woman they are blessed to interact with. It may be programming. Uh he may in his own mind and body doesn't think he's a great performer, right? But I do think it's a waste of time for a man to be masturbating all the time, right? uh
yeah.
when he has a womb there that would like to receive him. That there has to be some conversation, honest conversation, that if he's a committed man to you, sister, I would definitely want you to have a conversation that allows him to just be honest. Set a stage where you're not putting him on a hot seat where he's feel like he's attacked, but using your powerful feminine tones and voice to allow him the safe space to really communicate what blockages he may have around sexuality. There
Mhm.
may be something that was before you, that he had a trauma that he has not unblocked. And if a man knows that his woman is a listening ear without judgment, helping him move through that healing, you'll find that a brother can overcome that. And he may overcome because he has just you listening to him and being able to express himself. That expression may allow him to transcend that trauma sexually and may him lessen his self masturbation and also increase his interaction with you.
You
If
heard
that
that,
makes
brother?
sense.
Yeah, Dr. Africa said no more than once or twice a week, brothers.
Yeah, and only just to flow. It only just to flow. Yeah.
Rest in power to Dr. Africa. That was
Rest in
an
power to Dr. Africa. Rest in power to Dr.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing brother. Shout out to Ascending Infinite Goddess. Appreciate the super chat. And yeah, we doing this fast right now. Shout out to Ascending Infinite Goddess with
Oh,
the
salute to the fast y'all
yeah,
doing. That's so awesome.
yeah. We doing the fast with KT right now.
Oh, KT. So now listen, brothers and sisters, especially the ones in relationships and union, fasting to get you find when men and women are in relationship and doing the healing protocol together, use this fast with brother KT and brother Rich to really just open the way, clear the way, set the intention. And as y'all go through the herbs and you'll go through the fruits and vegetables and protocols that are emitted through the fasting, you'll find that the bond in the union will even be more strong and empowered. Even when y'all are doing meditation together, you're doing your juicing together, you're having your teas together, and just eliminating the waste, the blockage together allows you to be even much more committed to the growth and development of the union. So shout out to y'all and going through the protocol. And
Indeed.
for those that are solo, for those that are not in relationships, going on this fast with KT and Brother Rich will also prepare you. You're preparing your own sacred space for a one day better interaction.
Indeed. Priestess 303 wants to know, how can we access your classes on love?
Well, this is my class on love. This is my class. Yeah, this is my class on love. The only other main thing besides me when I share with Brother Rich and other platforms, outside of that, like I said, is the Man Heal Thyself Wellness Warrior online training that I do once a year. That's coming up in That's coming up this spring in March. And sisters, you can get that information at queenofua.com. I have partnered with my mother's wellness school, her wellness institute, to give the brothers some holistic support. So you can go to Queenafua, QUEENAFUA.com, queenafua.com, and you can look into the Sacred Women Rites of Passage training that is akin to what we're doing with the men in their holistic rites of passage training. Other than that, follow me on Instagram. I go live. We talk about relationships all the time. So you can follow me
Yeah.
on Instagram.
You know, actually, me and SupaNova and Red Pill, we were supposed
Oh,
to do
that's what I'm saying.
something.
We were gonna,
Yeah, last
sister.
year.
Thank you for that
Yeah.
question, sister. Because me, Red Pill, yes, and Brother Rich, were devising a specific relationship protocol for the channel. You know, that we wanted just to do maybe once a week or once a month to encourage brothers and sisters around productive relationships. So prayerfully, Brother Rich, maybe sometime in 2024
Yeah.
we can align,
We can make that happen.
and we can get that to the brothers and sisters.
You see how it just came right back to
See, it
that
came right back.
SupaNova? I mean, that's how you know that's that sign from the
That's
universe.
that. Hey,
We got to follow
hey,
the
brother Rich.
intuition.
Hey, brother
Yeah.
Rich. That's the intuition. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
sister's intuition.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Excellent.
Ashe,
Loving it
Ashe.
in
Yeah.
real time. All right. Somebody had a question. Okay. Somebody, Rich, are you taking suggestions for guests? Yes, I am. Leave. You can email me or just in the chat, leave the person's name in the chat. But I am taking suggestions, and I look forward to having new speakers on my platform this year. So definitely, family, let
Ashe.
me know. Yo, you know who I absolutely want to get on here, SupaNova, and I need to
Who?
put it out
Who?
in the universe. Terrence Howard.
That. Oh man, that
Terrence,
brother's. Woo.
Terrence Howard. Yeah, Terrence Howard.
That
Yeah,
brother is on the science. He is
yeah,
on it.
he's yeah he.
I know y'all will have a galactic conversations. You know, brother
Oh,
Rich. Let's be intentful. Let's just take 3 deep breaths and visualize that together. Family, if y'all out here, let's just take a 5 to 10 second breathe in to set that intention for brother Rich that we can attract through the community, through putting it out here, that brother Terrence Howard in the likes. Because I would love to also see Neil deGrasse Tyson with you. I think that would be a profound conversation. So let's set that intention for brother Rich. Everybody sit up straight. Your body's an antenna. You don't want to slouch the signal. Sit up straight so you can receive. You receive cosmically, it comes out. Receive cosmically, it comes out. So sit up, breathing in, exhale. See the conversation. Breathing in, exhale. Let's bring Brother Terrence to the platform. Breathing in, hold the vision, exhale. Ashe. And
shit.
so it is, Brother Rich. We strengthen our intentions.
That was beautiful, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate that, SupaNova. I
yeah.
appreciate that, man. Yeah, yeah. They like this brother standing on business. Yeah, he's standing on business. SupaNova is
Ashe.
definitely standing on business tonight, man. Definitely. Let's see. Can you drop the name of the book again, SupaNova?
Yes, it's called Man Heal Thyself. The
Uh,
Wellness Warrior's Journey to Self Mastery. You can get it on Amazon. Man Heal Thyself. The Wellness Warrior's Journey to Self Mastery by Supernova Slom and Queen Afua. And get it for your brothers, get it for our sons, our nephews, grandfathers, godfathers, all the men. Again, it's a tool based upon helping men strengthen their intuition. We actually have. Oh, thank you, brother. You inspired me, brother. But just right now, I'm going to read to you this.
Excellent.
We have some prayer cards that also accompany the book, and I want to read, since we talk about intuition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read to you one that speaks to that. Okay, so this is called, in the chapter 6 in the book, is called the Irete Energy Center number 6, the intuitive man of clear vision.
Mm.
And this, so I'm going to share an affirmation for all the intuitive men out there. And for the sisters listening, take the affirmation too. The affirmation of the intuitive man of clear vision. May I open my eyes, I have been blind. I live in the Uchat, my higher mind. I live by its strength. My intuition is powerful. And the protocol is this is for the penal intuitive empowerment affirmation. Okay, the I read number 6. May my pineal gland center that houses my intuition, face, eyes, mouth function in optimum wellness. May I see myself into wholeness, limb from limb. May I become clear messenger of truth. May I receive guidance and protection as I connect to my inner voice that teaches me moment by moment how to live a life in complete oneness with my purpose, my Nia. May I listen, trust, act, protect my inner vision so that I may become the greatness I was born to be. May the serenity in my eyes, in the youthful expression in my face, in the words from my mouth, reflect the oneness in my mind. I am a clear seer of clear vision, the intuitive man of clear vision. Ashe. So
Indeed,
you can
beautiful.
find that in the Man Heal Thyself Wellness Warriors Journey Guide.
All right, let's keep it moving. We're gonna do about you got time for three more
I got
questions?
time. Let's go. I got time. We here for the community. I got
All
time.
right, all right. I'm gonna ask this one, but I seen another question that I skipped. They was asking about your help with helping single people, and so people really are gravitating toward what you're saying, and they really want some assistance, SupaNova. So we really gotta figure something out. We really
Listen,
do.
let's
We really
let's figure it out, Brother Rich. Absolutely.
but
We're gonna figure it out for them.
let me get to this one though, because this is similar to what we just said. How do you know when you've met your cosmic wife or cosmic husband, SupaNova?
You would know when you are inspired to do your personal work,
Mm,
right?
excellent.
If you find yourself lazy and forgetful and you have a partner like that, that's not the compliment. When you
Ooh,
find yourself attracted to someone and met someone that encouraged you to, let's say get up and, channel and do your work or go get on your grind or, get on your juicing, your fasting, really just be the best version of yourself. 9 times out of 10, that's what that cosmic partner is here to do. Is here to encourage you to be more of yourself, not to get lost in them, but to be inspired to continue to work on yourself as to be a cosmic complement. And that's
mhm,
male or female, right?
mhm,
So, sisters, if you attract a brother and all of a sudden you find yourself on your dean, like being on your beauty routine, being on your
mhm,
healing cleanser routine, that's your cosmic connection
mm,
because he was
mm,
sent to strengthen you at your highest and wisest.
mm. All right, let's get to what kind of incense or candles are good for meditation to be able to ground yourself.
Sandalwood, sage, cedar, sandalwood, sage, cedar. You can just keep that in the atmosphere. The aromatherapy of your home. Also, lavender is really good. If you can get your hand on some lotus oil, that's really good. Amber oil is really wonderful. Frankincense and myrrh. Those smell. We're sensitive to smells. We talked about the senses today, and so having that in your environment, it also keeps the environment calibrated, for you to actually maneuver through the moods. A lot of times, brother Rich, life be lifing, right? And we come home from outside. If the home is not set to a certain frequency, whether it be smell, how you feng shui your furniture, your home is your temple, your mosque, your shrine, your cathedral. It's supposed to be a tuning fork. So when you come from the outside world, it'll put you right back into alignment, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
the smells are also helping to keep the environment into alignment, right? And so it's almost like your home, your place of rest is a cleaning portal that sets you up for deployment into the world. And when you come outside the world, it helps to, reset your auric field and reset your data point.
Damn, I keep putting it on mute. I
Oh,
love how you put that, my brother. That's excellent. It's a cleaning portal that sets you up for deployment into the world.
yes. And
Excellent.
also and also restores you
And
upon
restores you
returning. Yeah,
upon
yes, yes,
returning.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. A happy home and a home with a good energy, good smells, all that. Very important, family.
Very
Very,
important, brother
very,
Rich. Yeah.
very important. There was one I want to. Okay, what is Supernova Slom's thoughts on semen retention? You talked about the whole releasing thing. What's your thoughts on semen retention,
Yes.
Supernova?
Well, I think you should be able to hold the receipt, but like Dr. Africa said, upon holding your seed, he was saying that every 72 hours or so, you have to have a release. He said because if the semen is all of that is trapped up in it, right? It when you finally do perform, right? You it's not what happens is he says your body's not regulated, you know what I'm saying, to continue to prolong the activity. So some brothers say, okay, I'm just not gonna come, I'm not gonna even release it. Dr. Africa talks about how to keep the balanced schedule. Whether you're in whether you have your mate that you have sex with, or you can just hold, release, hold. That's how you build the muscle. You hold for a period of time, you release, whether it be through your partner or but just your masturbation release, and then you hold. So I think it's more of a balance more than being an extremity of a remedy. I don't think that semen retention is an extreme remedy. I think it's supposed to be used in a daily regimen to establish hold and release protocol, right? And that's according to Dr. Africa. I found my when I applied his science to myself, I felt it works. You know, but you have to design that for you. Some brothers, they may have to go through long periods of attention because they've been out here wilding out, right? So you may have to have a long periods of fasting, just to kind of rebalance yourself. But once you rebalance yourself after long periods of not releasing, you have to figure out that release and hold protocol.
Indeed. All right, let's keep it going. And shout out to the support. When SupaNova set that intention with the brother Terrence Howe, I see the people showing love in the chat. This brother's affirming March 3rd. I see a lot of people. I appreciate the support in the quantum realm. You know,
Come on, that's how we're doing it.
that's
Charging that quantum
beautiful.
realm up.
Yeah, that's beautiful, energetic support, and I definitely appreciate it, family. Let's keep this
Yes.
thing moving. I want to get to this one. What kind of spiritual tools to use to protect people with demonic attachments trying to feed off your energy slash aura? How do you seal your aura without spending a fortune?
Mm. Okay. Well, we talked about setting up the home as your energy station. You know, what I want you all to do if you have not done it, it doesn't matter if you practice a Abrahamic religious faith or you are in a spiritual protocol. Set up an altar. An altar is not to be looked upon as a demonic thing. It's an energy station. It's a reflection of you. Okay, you set up an altar, right? You find a cloth, you know, a white cloth, you know, to illuminate, a black cloth to resorb, right? And any color in between that relates to you. You put the cloth on the area of your room, maybe a small corner, a table, or whatever area that you can really go to daily. You on that once you got the color stabilized, right? Then you put a glass of water. Water is the conduit, the eternal conduit of life in our bodies and around us. The water acts as the daily conduit. So every day, every time you wake, you take that water, you pour libation, pour it out, and then you refill it, put it back on the altar. By using the water, the flow, you're actually strengthening the flow of your muscle flow in your life and around you. So what it does is allows the flow to be fixed upon you as you're moving through life. Just that one gesture of filling the cup of water, pouring it out. Like I said, we're in the age of Aquarius, so the man and woman is the steward of pouring the water, right? So strengthening that protocol protects you, being in flow, practicing pouring and refilling. Simple gesture. Put a picture of one of your recent ancestors. If you don't have a picture, write their names down, because what you're doing is you're exalting that force in the spiritual realm to be an activated guardian angel to also help you see the unseen, right? So as you're doing your water libation, you're putting that intention with a grandmother, grandfather, or an elder, or maybe someone in life that inspired you that is no longer in the physical realm. You're putting their acknowledgement there, and they are actually activated to support you as you're maneuvering through life. So when people have ill intentions of you, it's they're helping you to strengthen your auric field and your flow. Um, Find a way to put some type of earth element, maybe some sand, maybe some dirt, right? Because you want to bring the elements into your home, right? We have earth. So the elements of the earth elements, like some sand, some dirt. You put it in a small bowl, and you could just ground. Put your fingers in there and just breathe,
Mm,
right? A
mm.
small little bowl. So now you have a water element, you have an earth element, whether it be soil, some rich soil, or some sand, and practice grounding. Put your fingers in there and practice grounding, right? So now when you move into the terrain outside, you because you in tune with your elements inside, you practice internally. That external knows you. The elements identify you. The water identifies you. The earth identifies you because you've been practicing with it, right? And you're activating your element as the element. So we have earth, Your wind is your breathing through it. Earth,
Mm-hmm.
fire is what you want to put like a tea lit candle or an actual candle, and you light it every time you are at the altar. You don't leave it unattended, right? So when you're at your altar, you set an intention or meditation, and you light the fire as a metaphor for lighting the way of your intention, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
moment you do a prayer, an intention, a protocol, an affirmation, you light the tea lit candle, or you put the light as a way to lighten and illuminate you in the shadows of uncertainty in yourself and maybe in the environment. By utilizing the earth, air, fire, water, and the elements, the ether, the overarching element, is you deployed in real time as the element. Having what I call an altar or an energy station, you can design it any way you want. You can put your ankh on there. If you're native Afro indigenous, put your feathers on there. Whatever symbols and signs additionally you want to charge your energy station with, you put there for protection, not only in your home, but while you're deployed in life. No demons are going to be attacking you. They will be giving you safe passage. See, demons attack us because the demonic force in us resonates for them to infiltrate us.
Ooh, tell them, Super
When
No.
you subdue the devil within, right? The outside devil can't win. So if you practice being better of yourself and doing your protocols, you're actually keeping that sectarian force at bay. The Heru in you is at keeping that sectarian force in you, or your darker force, at bay and balance. So when you're navigating life, the demons can't pick up the signal on you to attack you. They only attack when the signal is loud on you, right? So when you're
Mm-hmm.
doing your daily rituals, your protocols, your affirmations, your intentions, you're shielding yourself and you're creating safe passage. Not saying you won't be challenged or attacked, but you will come out victorious because you're actualizing your spiritual protocols.
Mm. Wow. Super No, man, it's like you've been getting you was prepared for this show, man. I just told you the
I was
topic.
ready for deployment.
Yeah, man.
I said,
Man,
I said,
y'all need to get this brother's book. Y'all need to get this brother's book ASAP. We're gonna wind it out with one last question. First of all, let me just I seen a brother named Chief something. Email me if you are there was a brother on here who said he do telekinesis and all that.
mm,
Um, if you are interested in being on my show, email me at richardmerritt at Yahoo. You got to have some work out there, y'all. You can't just freestyle on my show out the
please.
blue. You got to have some work, brother. Like SupaNova put in work for years. Everybody that's on this channel, they put in work. You don't have to have a big following and have 100,000 subscribers, but you just got to have some work out there. So if anybody's interested, you got to send me some material, a YouTube video or something demonstrating, what you're good at. I just can't take your word for it. I don't want to talk to you over the phone. I don't want to do any of that. I want to be able to see some of your work out there because it shows me that you are dedicated to your craft. So once again, family, I put my email in the chat. Hit me up, the brother that was saying that, or anybody else. I know the sister sending infinite goddess. I seen you said something. Send me something.
Brother Rich,
Yeah,
before you read her
yes.
question, can I just show you this? This is on page 41 in the book. It's giving an
Yes.
example of what I just said to you, what an altar can look like, right?
Mm,
You put your the portrait of your ancestor, the picture of your most divine self, so you get a picture of your own self, how you see yourself.
mm.
You can put an example like an ankh. You can put an aloe plant or a plant to represent earth, like I said, dirt, sand to ground. Get a chalice or a bowl for the water libation. Um, Right here, you can have the candle for the fire element. We can have an emerald, a stone, a crystal. And then right here, you can have your whatever anointing oil, lavender oil, frankincense, and myrrh oil. Just an example. So, like I said, it transcends religious or spiritual protocol. Whatever your discipline is, you can utilize this as a diagram, and you could just begin to build your altar, your energy station at home.
Yeah, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Let's get to this last question. Supernova
Yes,
Slom. What does it mean when you are able to think of a person and they call your phone within the same hour?
that's called synchronicity. That's a beautiful thing when that happens. That's in sync.
Yeah.
So basically, that you and that being are magnetized right in the portal. Like if you ever just thought about somebody and went out your door and you end up seeing them within that next few hours, that's the synchronicity again. You know, someone, like you said, someone calls and you just thought about them, or that synchronicity is beginning to what we talked about today, Brother Rich, as far as strengthening the sixth sense, right? And doing the daily protocols we described, such as even setting up your energy station, your altar. That's how you strengthen synchronization, you know, and that's
Right.
how you magnetize synchronization. So we all have the ability to do it, and it's really beautiful when it happens. And it can actually be administered. It actually can be strengthened with intention.
Indeed, indeed. Last quick question, Supernova. This brother wants to know when they order the book from Amazon, will they still come with the cards?
No, no, no. The cards are for the brothers that go through the protocol, the 12-week
Okay.
rites of passage training. When you sign up for the online training, we give those cards in addition to the wellness products we give to the brothers. The
Mm.
cards are given to the brothers. But eventually, I'm working on another set of cards for brothers outside of the main training that will be available within the next year too. But yes,
Excellent. Excellent. Hey, with that being said, Supernova man, absolutely amazing show, man. I'm
yes,
so glad.
beloved.
I'm
Yes.
so glad I chose this topic for you, brother. I mean, this was amazing. This
Hey,
is
brother
something
Rich, you know what
I'm
happened?
yeah,
When you reached out to me, you didn't know yet. You did your intuition.
yeah. Hey, there it is
I
again.
say,
There it is again.
you said no, you know what you said no, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go in the page. I'm gonna
Look at your
meditate on it,
stuff.
and it's
Yeah.
gonna come through. And so, really, you actually what you did is
Ain't that
what we became
something?
to do. Look at that. See,
Yo, you
synchronicity. Look, synchronicity.
Yo,
I say,
our gifts are so amazing, Supernova. Like, wow,
yeah,
I can't
yeah,
believe that they've been so shut off to us for so long because
yeah,
they're so I mean, it's beyond amazing. It's beyond words. I can't explain how
yeah,
amazing
yeah,
these gifts are, Supernova,
yeah.
and it's a blessing to have them. And I just look forward to all of us tapping into them. You are
Tap
doing a
in.
magnificent job doing what you
I
do.
say.
Please leave your contact information. You're gonna have a lot of people buy your book tonight, Supernova. Leave
I
all your
say.
contact information.
I say, family, I'm SupaNova Slom across all socials. I'm here on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel. I'm very active on Instagram for the sister that talked about hearing relationship lives and stuff. And also, I will be back with Brother Rich and Brother Red Pill soon to figure out how we can pour into you all. But you can follow me across all socials. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Threads. I'm on Facebook and very much activated on Instagram. For the brothers, you can follow not only SupaNova Slom, just how I was said on Instagram. Follow our Man Heal Thyself program page on Instagram. Man Heal Thyself program page. And you can go to queenafua.com, QUEENAFUA.com to learn more about the Rites of Passage program coming up for the brothers, the wellness training for the brothers this spring. And I'm on Amazon. Man Heal Thyself is on Amazon. Thank you, Brother
Excellent.
Rich. Appreciate you, beloved.
Hey, thank you.
And I'm gonna put it out there. They don't know, but Brother Rich did tell me he in his consciousness, it didn't happen yet, that me and him may be working on a rock rap album. I'm gonna put it back out there. It's coming. We don't
No,
know when. It's coming soon in divine order. But I'm just letting them know we've been talking about it. Me and him been talking about collaborating for some years now, and we're gestating it with what's in the ethers being cultivated, and in divine time we will make it happen.
I could serious. Shh. I could feel that energy, that rock energy. I could feel it in my spirit. I know I could
Come
bring it
on.
out, and
I know you can.
I know you the right person
I know
to
you
help
can.
bring out that sound. So,
Yes.
like you said,
We're going
in divine
in
time, it's
divine
gonna
time.
happen.
In
It's
divine
gonna
time.
happen. We gonna shock the world with it. They ain't
I'm
seen
ready.
nothing like that in a long time, brother. Watch.
Brother, lock and load. Let's go.
Indeed. Family, tonight was
Yes.
magical. Tonight was
I say.
wonderful. I'm leaving the show high. I'm talking about without weed, without the drugs. I'm just high off of all of our the chat.
Mm.
Yo, was so wonderful tonight.
Oh.
Let's keep this energy up. We started out the year great. Let's just keep it going like that, yo. Let's stay on this high vibes, high
Can I
frequency.
close out with just some breathing
Please,
for the community? All right,
please do,
everybody,
brother.
let's in honor
Please
of
do.
being on our beloved platform, Black Magic 363. I want the family that's in the chat to sit up straight, and we're gonna set just a healing protocol for everyone that is in the audience, seen and unseen, in all of our relations. And our next 7 days, not 7 years, not 7 months, but just the next 7 days, we're gonna do some breathing breaths to ground ourselves, to have compassion for ourselves, hold safe space for ourselves, and may we be strengthened by the energizing energy that we get from this channel in tonight's live. So let's just take the next 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, excuse me, that's 10 seconds, 60 seconds, and just breathing in, holding the intention, exhale it, a nice release. Set the intention, breathing in, opening the way, clearing the way, release. Forgiving yourself for any blockages, forgiving yourself for any trauma, breathing in, letting the trauma unblocking go. The last one for the community and for tonight, breathing in, setting an intention of love for Brother Rich and his family and your family. Hold it. Exhale. Ashe. Woo, woo, woo,
Woo.
woo. Wellness warrior salute.
Oh man, love it, love it.
We charged
Hey,
up, Brother Rich.
no, we supercharged. We super
Yeah,
duper charged.
supercharged up.
Oh
Ashe.
man. All right, family. Thank you so much, SupaNova. I'm gonna give you a call soon, my brother. We got a lot to
We'll
talk
talk.
about.
Thank you, beloved.
Peace. See you next
Peace,
time,
brother.
family. All right.
Peace.